Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 8, season 5 of Leaders in Action. The last few years, we saw the rush towards technology transformation and digital tools as companies work double time to thrive in the new normal. In our industry, agency distribution is feeling the impact of technological change as their companies launch digital service and sales platforms, as customers now have multiple channels to transact, and as the bread and butter sales process has been altered. Previously, we guested a few leaders who shared with us how they adapted to a more technology-inclined environment and how they are using digital tools and social media to grow their teams. But given the dynamic nature of our business today and the constantly changing customer and even advisor expectations, no single digital practice has all the answers. So tonight, we have invited another successful agency leader to share with us his way of optimizing the benefits of technology and social media.
Good evening, everyone. We are happy to be with you again tonight for another real story. We have seen, especially during the last 2 years, the speed of technology change and the widespread adoption of customers to anything digital. So clearly, it must follow that distribution, in this case, agencies, must adjust to the new ways customers may want to do business. But before we hear more about how another successful agency leader is using technology and social media, gusto muna namin magpasalamat ulit sa aming special guest last week, Ms. Grace Carpe of Sun Life Financial, Sun Life Grepa Financial, for sharing with us her journey as an upcoming agency leader and how she is using her newfound career to transform lives. So maraming salamat ulit, Grace. For this evening, we are pleased to be joined by a young, successful agency leader who has taken into digital as he powers his way towards growing his agency operations. Alam naman natin that today, most, if not all leaders would want to maximize the power and the benefits of social media. So it will be helpful to hear how another colleague is doing well by using the social media. So without further ado, please help me welcome our special guest sharer, Executive Branch Head of AXA Philippines Cebu. Let's call in Mr. Brian Baclayon. Hi, Brian. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Ms. J and Sir
Hi.
Ivy.
Hi, good
Hello.
evening. And thank you again, Brian, for accepting our invitation to be our special guest sharer tonight.
All right. No, welcome. I'm very excited to be here actually. And I've been watching this show and it felt surreal that I will also be speaking here. Yeah. Hopefully you'll learn something from me from me today. Yeah.
Yes, certainly. Again, maraming salamat, Brian. So, umpisa na natin dahil sa talagang pag maganda usapan, mabilis ang takbo ng oras. So, first off, may we request for a brief background about yourself and paano ka ba napunta rito sa magandang industry na ito?
Yeah, all right. So, that's my that's always a story to tell, no, to a lot of people. So, my name is Brian. I'm based in Cebu, but I'm from Tacloban City. So, I studied in Cebu for college, and then after dito na ako nag-work. In Cebu, I used to be a banker prior to joining AXA. So, or in the industry, no. So, my first job was with an international bank, HSBC, as a staff. And then after 3 years, almost 3 years, I moved up to a sales officer role in a bank, another bank, East West Bank. And then after 2 years, I've been a branch head of PNB. So ganun kabilis. So at the age of 25, I was a branch head already of a bank. And during that time, I felt it was a bit overwhelming kasi ang daming responsibilities and I was very young. Oo, parang ang daming paperwork. So a lot of my colleagues, my batchmates and friends from college before, during that time were moving out of the country already after taking their second
Okay.
course or so they were moving out, like they go to Singapore, Dubai, and I also wanted to do the same kasi parang ang saya lang nila tingnan. So while waiting, while waiting for the job offer, so I already resigned from the bank. While waiting
Yeah.
for the job offer, a company called me na, you might want to be a territory manager of an insurance company. So
Right.
that time, ang pwede ko lang tanungin and kausapin about it was one of my valued clients in the bank, which is Mr.
Mm.
John Tan. Kasi siya lang yung kilala ko na
Ang
parang
insurance.
leader sa insurance, no? So I asked him, is insurance really a good industry? Ganyan. And for me, nothing to lose naman kasi nga I have plans. So from there, Sir John said, why do you want to go to another company? Why not just work with me? Then hindi
Mm.
naman ako mahirap kausap. So following day, for all I know, nasa AXA na ako nung time na yon. So, and the story, and that was the start of my great journey here in the insurance industry. Yeah.
Well, first off, congratulations kay John for immediately identifying the talent in you. Now, I understand in such a short time, na ano ka na agad, you earned executive financial advisor level and then achieve your MDRT status. And then, parang yung career mo sa bangko mabilis, you then decided to become an agency leader. What inspired you to take on this role as an agency leader?
Yes, yeah. Naiisip ko din yan, no? Pero in reality, Sir Ivy, no, is
Uh,
that when I joined the insurance industry, I had no expectations.
right.
Ang sabi lang sa akin, yung nasa mind ko, all the banks are selling insurance, so this
Mm,
must be a good product. And I don't even know, first during that time, AXA, I had to learn about it. And then all the banks are selling insurance. So what's wrong with selling insurance?
mm,
And also, sinasabi lang sa akin dati, makapag-travel ka, mga ganito. And being that competitive, I tried to learn as fast as I can how to sell insurance. I started with very small accounts, with retail accounts, until such time I was brought to bigger clients. And I became an MDRT in
yeah,
4 months time. Yeah, in 4 months time.
bilis.
And in 2013. And then after that, there was a contest sa company namin.
Go
So
ahead.
there was a contest sa company namin na parang the top 7 will be brought to Paris, but that was like 10 years ago. So
Mm,
I tried to fight for it, na top 7 sa whole company, even if I was a rookie. And I did it in 7 months.
oh,
So yon, during that time, little did I know na na-enjoy ko na pala ang work ng pagiging advisor.
right.
I enjoy the time freedom, the
Mm,
the the rewards and the travels. And after that, 1 year akong advisor, and the following year, yung tanong mo nga paano, like why I step up to a
why?
leader role.
Correct.
I don't know if it's the right answer, but during that time, I was just bored. I felt unproductive kasi
Mm,
merong, I was 26 na during that time, no? And,
yes.
I'm earning, let's say, even if I was earning, let's say, 100,000, ganon.
Uh,
In 1 week, anong gagawin ko sa 100,000? Syempre, 1 week, I became unproductive kasi nasa bahay na lang ako, nanonood ng TV. So I
mm,
told myself, ano pa bang pwede kong gawin para to keep myself busy? Again, I didn't have any expectation on what the role will be. Alam ko
right.
lang, ang pagiging manager is to build a sales team. And
All
since I
right.
came from the bank, I already have an idea of what kind of sales team I want. I want
Yeah.
a sales team na very credible, people that, a sales team that people will trust. Ganun lang. And if I had to recruit people to build my sales team, If that is the requirement that is needed for me, then I will do it. It might not be as fast as I can, but I know that if this is what it takes to be a unit head, I
Hmm.
will do it. So that's a start, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, again, ang ganda because ang sinasabi mo is that you've got so much time and resources in front of you. Kesa naman ma-waste yun, you try to find an opportunity how you can make the most of what you have. Again, congratulations.
agree.
Before I give to Jay, ilan na ngayon ang iyong, how big is your group now?
Yeah. So all right. So my group, right, my team, I call it Tan Dynasty World. We are a
Hmm.
part of John Tan's the Tan Dynasty group. So I became a branch head no in 2019. December 2018. So parang 2019 na rin. The team right now with all the fallout, siguro nasa 100 kami sa branch
Wow,
ko.
wow, all
Yes.
right.
So
So,
we're 100, yeah. And hopefully we'll do more since we are starting to recruit leaders again, and people who were achieving already as an advisor. We'll try to give them a pathway to become a manager. So that's how big my team is right now.
again, congratulations, ha.
Thank you,
Jay,
sir. Mm-mm.
Okay. Brian, you were saying that both as an advisor and when you entered as an agency leader, you had no set of expectations, no? Pero what were your initial realizations when you embarked on your leadership role?
Yeah, okay. So when I embarked on my leadership role, siguro during that time, no, I was confident naman na kung target lang, kaya ko naman siyang pagtrabahuan. It might not be easy, but gagawin ko siya kung sa production lang. But the very difficult part was really recruiting people and making them so productive and making them awardees. Because I was able to set the expectation, parang pagpasok ko, I expect them to be, working hard like me, which is
Mhm.
not the case all the time. That is when the disappointment would come. But little by little, you learn how to deal with these things, and you learn to deal with people, manage people. And for me, that is the best thing about leadership. You get to deal with different kinds of people and making these people work as a team.
And how uh, did your background in banking, no? Syempre, you assume also a leadership role then, no? How did it help you when you were starting out, no, as a leader?
Yes. Okay. One of the best things that I have nadala ko dito sa industry from banking was first really my knowledge on money and how transactions work. So I easily just parang tina-transfer ko lang siya sa mga rine-recruit ko or sa team ko na this is doable and this is how money works. Also, another thing is profiling siguro and prospecting.
Mhm.
Um, I also qualify as much as possible the advisors that join my team. Siyempre, gusto ko rin parang may network na, or if walang network, parang at least may network na. Yun yung important sa akin.
As you were
And that,
profiling your clients in the bank before.
yes, yes. Kasi syempre, di ba, parang tanong ko always during interviews is sino yung bebentahan mo? So that's the kind of questions we also ask in the bank before. You have to, kasi no matter how good that person is, if wala siya masyadong network and not willing to build that network, that would be that will be a challenge. But for people who has the network but hindi masyadong marunong magbenta, then that's where leadership comes in. There are joint fieldworks we
Mhm.
can do. So these are the important learnings that na natutunan ko sa bank na ginagamit ko dito sa AXA even until now.
Okay, good. Now, you have been an agency leader for 8 years already, no? If I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. First as an executive unit head and now as an executive branch head. Brian, what are the systems and processes you believe contributed to the achievements that you have been enjoying so far?
Yeah. When it comes to ano naman, systems. Okay. For systems naman, okay, so in our company, we have this uh auto termination, okay? So sa company namin, in 3 months time, if you don't have benta,
Oh,
you really get auto termed.
Auto
Parang ano,
delisted, delisted.
madidelist. Oo, yung commissions mo hindi mo ma-receive or yeah. And you have to submit another sale. So for me, the best thing to do is part of my process is really to set that expectations to an advisor when they join. That when they join, it's easy, it's doable, but you have to commit and you also have to learn as much as possible. Kasi
Mhm.
meron namang training architecture in place eh.
Yeah.
Every company pagpasok mo. And there is a leader who can help you in joint field works. So,
mm,
as much as possible, and syempre, of course, what is the reason why they joined our company, diba? Or as an advisor? They need to earn. They have other dreams in life that, they need other income source. So one of the best things is set the expectations, be blunt to your advisors, and if they think they cannot do it, then
Mhm.
it's better that way than pumasok siya tapos wala talaga. So yun, because in reality, Miss J, no, for the past years, even when I was an advisor, even when I was a unit head, I was a unit head kasi 2014 to 2018. When I was a unit head, I only maintained about 25 people. Ganun lang, oo. Parang
Mhm.
may span of
Very
control lang
selective.
talaga ako, oo. There are people na nawawala sa team, but pinapalitan ko yon. But hanggang dyan lang because when they joined me, they already know that there are standards in place in the company. And there are also parang processes, no? Pag process naman, normally pag mga rookies, syempre kailangan natin joint fieldwork. So, this process din, ngayon nung nag-branched ako, pag may bagong unit manager din sa atin, initially, we also do joint fieldwork for them in
mm,
recruitment and in selling. And I think every leader should do that. That is the only way for an advisor and a leader to learn if they are bago. And then
mm,
until such time, these mga marunong na, they will be independent advisors and managers na, and then we can focus our time on the rookies naman that are coming in. So just as simple as that, for me, joint fieldwork is one of the best initiatives, either through Zoom. Ngayon, ang bilis na eh. Pwede
Mhm.
na tayo sa Zoom eh. Dati, kailangan pag may advice. Kasi I operate in Bacolod as well and Tacloban. So dati, I remember during my first manager, pinuntahan ko pa sa Bacolod just to, to do a joint field work, to tell them about what the company and what we do. But now, pwedeng-pwede sa Zoom.
mm,
Ang bilis na. So,
Yeah.
if ever there are new people, I suggest joint field work is really number one. When it comes to system, ano ba system ko? Very simple sa akin. Meron akong sa team na aside from the fact that there's auto termination, uh, as much as possible, I just require everyone. Hindi ako masyadong nagpe-pressure. Parang
Mhm.
kasi alam ko naman na pag magaling, pagpasok dito, magaling talaga. Pag mataas ang dreams nila, they will work hard for it. So, better I learned from my mistakes already, no. So, while pressure is good, it's better na we work on the goals of every advisor and manager. So, I just work with what they feel yung gusto nila. So, nagbe-base lang ako sa goal ng mga advisors and managers kung anong gusto nilang ma-hit. So there are advisors who are high performers. There are also advisors who are okay lang, and then they are good with the contest na mga parang hindi masyadong pang MDRT. Okay lang din sa akin yon. So ang important sa akin is fulfilled ang advisors, and then they hit every milestones that they can hear when they join with me. Kahit simple, like first 90 days nila, meron tayong mga pa-contest, lahat ng
Mhm.
natin, ng companies natin. So as much as possible, I try to support them for them to hit that first milestone. Ayaw siguro ito, parang naisip ko to kanina, no? I'm the kind also of leader na as much as possible, I want them to experience success as in the fastest way possible. Parang if there are milestones as early as 3 months, then let's get it. We'll work hard at it. We'll work with you. Give me the appointments. I'll go join field work with you until such time you're already confident to face your clients, and then we'll do it. At the end of the day, it's a win-win for all of us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so very clear, no, na parang the way I got it from you, importante is work with the goals, no, on the goals rather of your both of your advisors and leaders. Wala mo na masyadong pressure, okay?
Yes.
But at the same time, making sure that expectations are set, no, they are very clear
Agree.
with the standards, no, and the expectations from the agency. You zeroed in the joint field work, no, which is really very important both for leaders and advisors. And
Advisors.
ito yung sinabi mo nga, no, work on early milestones, yung mga small, no, successes, wins, no, i-celebrate yan. Brian, how did all these things change during the pandemic? May nabago ba? Paano binago
Yes.
ng pandemic itong iyong sistema?
Well, yes, during the pandemic, I first, no, syempre, whether pandemic or not, we have targets to meet, no? So, we cannot also like parang ano lang, relax lang because it's pandemic. But what I learned as well from people is that we also have to understand situations. And if we cannot do something, say for example, meron kang mga uncontrollables, meron kang advisors, meron kang leaders na who cannot like perform, what we can do if wala tayong magawa dyan, all we can do is just look for another advisor and look for another opportunity. Look for another leader who would be joining us. Ganun lang. As leaders, we have no control of our people. We are not employed, diba? So all we can do is motivate them and inspire them that they can do great things. So yes, nagbago siya in a sense that um, walang mga actual face-to-face meetings. Iba pa rin ang emotions eh. Pag, masaya kayo kasi you're having coffee together, you're talking about things together. But meron naman palang Zoom eh. Mabilis lang. Merong Zoom, merong Viber. Ang busy na ng Viber ngayon. Ang Zoom, merong Facebook. So, the pandemic has actually taught us that totoo pala yung mga systems in place ng mga BPO na nasa US sila. Pero yung mga tao nila nag-work sa Philippines, in India. So, it works pala. And all we need to do is to adapt to that change and make it work. I'm not saying that I'm best in social media because I don't do it. I'm not really a Gen Z who can, do the TikToks. I just which is very useful. Like now, sinasabi that a lot of people earn through TikTok or social media, no. Pero I just focus on platforms which I think you will ask me later, on very important platforms. I just focus on Facebook, Messenger, and Instagram is very important, lalo na nung pandemic, no? People are just posting lahat ng ginagawa nila. And then, of course, I also learned using LinkedIn. I learned LinkedIn before, pero ngayon ko lang talaga siya na-appreciate nung pandemic na. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Brian.
So, punta na tayo sa technology, Brian, and you've mentioned about this. Of course, during the pandemic, talaga namang so much attention was put into digital. Yung bang prior to the pandemic, you were already into digital and social media?
Yes. Yes, sir. Sir Ivy, no. If I recall it, siguro all of my appointments for advisors were done through. My first touch is always connecting them through Facebook. Kasi when
Mm.
we're out, like when I meet friends, I don't really tell them agad na I join my team. Kasi syempre we're out eh. But I try to, the way to set an appointment is really through social media, Messenger or Viber. And also LinkedIn. Yes, I tried LinkedIn before kasi may training kami. Kasi may LinkedIn pala na pwedeng
Mm.
gamitin. Pero hanggang dun lang. I tried to message people, wala namang nagre-reply sa akin. Siguro may nag-reply after 3 years. So, 3 years, 4 years, and then
Uh,
yun pala, yun pa rin. Ano pa rin, what I learned from that situation, no, is even if you
yeah.
message people in LinkedIn, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, the moment na they're, let's say, galing, bank assurance na leader siya,
Right.
or banker siya, ganyan. The moment that time will come that they will
Mm.
think of
Mm.
another path in their career, you will be first in mind if you have that brand and then naisip nila, nag-message ka pala sa kanya. So that is possible. That is how my Bacolod team started and Manila team started. It all started that way. Kasi limited lang naman ang kilala ko eh. But social media gives us that space for us to reach out to more people possible. So yeah, even prior, sir, even prior
Ano?
pandemic,
Oo. Oo.
Facebook, yeah,
Oo.
yeah.
And then dumating na yung pandemic ngayon. So what did you do? Ano pa, how did it further? Parang yung usage mo ng social media or digital, ano ang naging impact nun?
Yes. So ganito, on specifics, to be
Yes.
specific, no, on specific, like for Facebook kasi, Facebook for me is for natural market. Makilala ko, batchmates, ganyan, classmates, kagimik dati, fellow banker. Easier to message them, how are you, ganyan. When it comes to, when the pandemic came, syempre yung malalapitan mo lang doon are those na feeling mo need nila ng, who needs more, like who needs additional income stream. So these are makilala ko, but limited lang siya. But when it
Mm.
comes to LinkedIn, LinkedIn kasi, LinkedIn is for people who are open to do business. Kaya they're in LinkedIn. They are all
Mm.
professionals. Nakikita mo na yung profile nila. So all you need to do is just message people. But don't
Mm.
expect that people will will respond to you. Maybe
Oo, respond immediately.
maybe out
Oo.
of 100 messages,
Oo. Oo.
baka ewan ko kung merong
Oo.
isa, 'di ba? It's also
Oo.
a humbling experience kasi imagine ka branchhead tapos biglang no, ganyan, 'di ba? Hindi ka pinapansin. Tapos
Well, I think tama
open to
yun.
work. Yeah.
Oo. That's very important, Brian, kasi for example, even if sanay na kayo sa rejection sa business, pero iba yung rejection rate dito eh, 'di ba? So
Oo.
kung hindi ka aware or sanay, it can dampen the spirit, 'di ba?
Agree. Imagine Sir Ivy, no? Merong mga, say for example, tingnan mo, merong let's say parang bago pa lang nag-work and then looking for
Mm.
work, few months pa lang
Yes.
nag-work. Tapos
Mm.
magme-message ka, then you're already
Oo.
in a Gamma Award, yun MDRT. And
Oo.
then they will just say, sorry, not interested. But it's okay. I learned to,
Oo. Oo.
na-learn ko na siyang i-accept. It's very humbling. It's an humbling experience. But at the end of the day, without LinkedIn, I will not be able to connect to the world, diba?
Mm.
Wala, or social media. I will only be able to connect to people I know, which is very limited. And there will be no growth if hanggang doon ka lang. So that is a very good avenue for all our leaders to explore. Although competition is tough, you
Of
have
course, yeah.
to still maintain your branding
Yes.
Yeah.
in all social media platform. Kasi, if madali siya, then lahat tayo sana, na, di ba? Super awardees. So, take that, I hope everyone will take that challenge, no, to still continue using social media. It is the only way. For me, it's the only way to grow. If you don't do social media, you'll be stuck with people you know. And if you really want growth, yeah, for me, social media is the best avenue for it.
I think that's a very strong message, no, that I hope everybody will really take into heart, no. Now you've mentioned about brand, Brian. Can you briefly describe yung brand mo na nakikita ng iyong mga customers, advisors, or
Yeah.
whoever you know, reach out to.
Yeah. All right. For customers naman, sir. Even ever since I was starting as an advisor, ganun ako eh. I always relate when recruiting. I always relate it to how I started as an advisor, how I deal with
Mhm.
clients, with prospects, so they can relate. And if they can do it, then it will be useful to them. So for clients, my always strategy is always I post in social media if I have achievements, because that
Mm.
would signify, pero hindi rin yung ano, yung sobra-sobra. Yung ano lang,
Uh,
parang achievements.
Establish credibility, kumbaga, like
Yes.
credibility,
Yeah, that is
professionalism. Oo,
agreed.
okay.
That is how
Oo.
you build your credibility to clients. So
Mm,
I keep
mm,
on doing that, and even to recruits. The
mm,
moment you keep on posting your, your success stories, then it will be easier for you to talk to them about them
mm,
doing that as well. So
mm.
ano naman, other than that, for leadership naman,
Oo.
my branding is always I maintain a team of professionals, a team
Mm,
of bankers from bank assurance, businessman in my team, because I want to attract those kind of people as well to join my team. So ganon siya. And then social media, when it comes to parang daily lang na mga posts, then I also hired a social media manager to do that for my team, yung mga posters, kasi hindi ako
mm.
marunong talaga gawa ng posters. So siya na gumagawa niyan, pero yung yung mga awards, yung mga ganyan, I just tell
Yes.
him what to do, and then siya na bahala doon.
Thank you for sharing your brand. No, again, it's about the clarity of the brand and the consistency of the messaging. No, thank you, Jay.
Brian, also you mentioned that you're very active in social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Of all these mga platforms, Brian, which is the one that really gives you the most impact in your business?
All right. So just like my career in the industry, it evolves over time. Kasi dati
Nakwento
nga
nga sa amin ng evolution ng iyong social
yes.
media journey.
Yes, because when I was an advisor, syempre Facebook lang yon. I just talk about myself. When I was a unit head, syempre I only maintained, sabi ko nga, 'di ba, 25 advisors. So kayang-kaya ng natural market ko yon, and the referrals of my advisors. So Facebook lang din ako noon. And then I just brand my team to be a team of leaders, of awardees, professionals doing their best, para we can attract serious people joining our team. But when I became a agency manager or a branch head already, I had to go to LinkedIn. Kasi in LinkedIn kasi, you get to attract people who you do not know but are professionals. Okay, so right now, what is impactful to me is really LinkedIn, because of LinkedIn, I was able to get unit managers. Kasi, di ba, pwede na tayo virtual selling, no?
Yes.
So, all of us went virtual selling. So, virtual recruiting din ako. So, leaders, no, I try to get leaders through LinkedIn from different industries, and then they became a unit head. Some succeeded, some didn't, but that's part of the game. Next, right now, since I'm also starting to, parang syempre, we also meet, siguro dahil ginagalingan natin masyado, we also meet people who also wants to become a branch head. So
Mm,
from there, I also get to talk to them through LinkedIn. Sa LinkedIn lang ako nakakita ng ganon. And then, usually, nasa Manila na sila na team. And then, syempre, doon ko sila na-meet, initial touch point. And then we do Zoom meetings. So sa Zoom meetings na, that's where the deal gets done. But without LinkedIn, I wouldn't have been able to meet these people, no? So,
mm,
moving forward, if I am to look for leaders, I will go to LinkedIn. And if I want to go for advisors
mm.
and, natural market, Facebook pa rin. And what I do is that, just a tip. So what I do, syempre sa LinkedIn, everyone is very impressive, no? Lahat ng mga, mga resume andon. what I do is I try to parang profiling lang din, no, when meeting a client. Nagre-research ako before talking to them.
Mm-mm.
So if ever I want to talk to them na via Zoom and then they responded, if they responded, I want to talk to them via Zoom, I research them, their way of life, their what they look like. So tinitingnan ko din sa either Facebook or sa Instagram.
Yeah.
So we have relatable things to
Yeah.
talk about, and that would show if there's a connection between you working together. So without all these things, ang hirap sigurong maging manager ngayon at this point of time, no?
Yes, but at the same time, it's giving you naman an easy access, no? Which
Agree.
managers years ago, they do
Wala.
not have, no, that kind of
Agree.
luxury.
Kaya for the managers, no, na nakikita ko minsan sa LinkedIn na walang pictures ang mga profile
Oo,
nila,
oo.
maybe it's time to update
Ayan.
na. Kasi yung mga advisors din now are, parang times are changing eh. When an advisor is also inquiring to us, or a manager is inquiring to us, they also look us up at LinkedIn or in Facebook. So we need to have a good profile as well. So, kasi 'di ba, parang with all the options out there, why will they choose you? Why will they choose to be part of your team? Syempre, with easy access nga, titingnan din tayo, hindi lang sila, 'di ba?
Yes. Tama yan. So, thank you for reminding us, no, and giving us that tip, no, on how we can best, baga ba, represent ourselves, no, in
Agree.
social media, no. Siguro even the type of photos, 'di ba, na nilalagay,
Agree.
very important, no. Hindi yung
Agree.
masyado mga pang showbiz, no, or mga pang model type, no. So, I think
Yes.
part, no, of para bang kino-curate
Yes.
word, no, curating, no, yung profile doon. Now, very clearly, Brian, how social media has helped you in attraction, no, in attracting people. Pwede bang ma-share mo din naman sa amin how social media has enabled you to activate and promote productivity in your team?
Yeah, okay, yan. Yes, dati kasi, the only way to promote productivity is when you have team meetings, and then, tingnan who's the top advisor, magkano na ang benta ng team, nitong unit na to. Now, with social media, everything is updated. And if you are that kind of advisor who really would want to be a part of the growth or success of a team, then parang responsibility mo din na mag-contribute to the team. So, in a way, without telling them that you need to sell, nagbebenta talaga sila. So, other people as well, we inspire other people. Like, if there are contests, dati, you'll know the results of the contest at the end of the contest na. Ngayon, few weeks pa lang, we already have a qualifier. So, the other advisor, yung parang, natutulog-tulog lang, okay, I have to work harder. So in a way, that also gives them that push, no? Na they can do that. Because most of the people are always in social media. They can always see what's happening. Updated yan, Viber, Instagram, at saka Facebook. So being a member of a team, siya talaga, parang it's both parang a pressure, and at the same time, it will make you productive. And on a big scale, lumaki ang parang activity ratio ng buong team, especially when there was online selling, and when there is social media, more social media na activities. Because before pandemic, I didn't have any social media manager. So walang gumagawa ng mga testimonial ng client, or i-join us, walang mga gumagawa ng ganon. Or eto na yung mga qualifiers ng contest. But when pandemic happened, and I felt the need na there is no way but social media, I hired a social media manager, and everything is updated, and yung mga people are getting activated naman eh. Yung mga nawawala lang talaga, yun, part talaga sila ng ng attrition, ng process talaga. Yeah, but those who are still with us, they're active because they get recognized in social media, and also they get to learn new products also on the dot, because there are Ngayon, uso na ngayon yung parang product highlights, automatic, isang poster lang yan eh. Hindi na
Mm.
kailangan i-explain pa. So, that would help to a lot of people, simplifying things through social media. Yeah.
So how many chat groups do you maintain now?
Ang dami, Miss J. Wag mo na lang tanongin. I'm
Hindi ka ba
sure,
nalilito kung ano yung mga
groups,
topic for
Viber.
each? Oo.
Yeah.
Hindi ka nalilito kung anong topic for each chat group? Okay lang? May sariling...
Okay lang, oo. Ganun tayo, flexible tayo dapat eh. So, yeah. So that's how it is. We have Viber, we have chat groups from both iba-ibang teams pa, 'di ba? So, yeah, that's how it is. Kasi if wala namang ganun, ang hirap. That's why I'm saying I cannot imagine how do we discuss things or address concerns if there is no instant access to us through social media, 'di ba?
So,
Brian, we've been discussing about the beauty and the benefits of social media, no? What naman can possibly be the risk or downside, no? Na dapat very conscious yung mga gumagamit nito, no? Especially ngayon, di ba? Ang dami, they steal your data, you can be part of a scam. So, ano yung risk, but at the same time, what can someone do to mitigate the risk?
Yeah, all right. So, okay. So for that, siguro yung risk lang siguro ng social media is sometimes people are too good, parang profiles. Yeah. Pero in reality, you don't get to talk to them na, so they can, you get to know their really work habits and how to do it. That's when attrition comes in. So yun yung parang, yun lang yung risk na nakikita ko. When it comes to mga identity, hindi naman tayo masyadong nagbibigay lahat ng info natin. At the end of the day, our goal for this is just an initial touch point to them. And then from there, you choose pa rin, it's still up to us to choose as to who do we talk to. Ganon naman tayo eh. That's in recruitment or, lead. But in leading the team naman, wala naman siyang masyadong risk, Sir Ivy, no? Yung risk lang is you get sin zoned, which kung hindi ka strong enough, masyado kang ma-hurt nun. And to manage that is just to simply talk to that advisor, what are her plans, or to that manager, anong plans and anong expectations. So part of our team na especially for those promising advisors that we invited to join us, part of the sinasabi namin, as much as possible, don't do zine zones, or sinaset namin expectations, or just reply okay. And I know na pag wala na masyadong reply, there must be something parang hindi na yan productive or hindi na yan attached with the business. Then most likely these are the people din na medyo na-auto term. Kasi they are not they're not engaged now na mabilis na sana yung engagement. So yan lang. But other than that, there are no risk of data privacy or what. Wala naman, sir.
That's good.
Well, based on my experience.
That's good. Pero mga pagkakataon na isang negative, for example, development or news or rumor na unconfirmed, biglang sumasabog sa
Pinasok, no? Yeah.
Agree.
Ang dami niyan ngayon. Oo. Ang dami ngayon, nagpo-post lang ng article, tapos syempre, nilalagay nila sa group chat, so it will also, yung ma-affected yung mga tao. So, it's also the chance for the leader to show their skills. Diba? So, for that, you have to, let's say if it's a negative article, the leader or, an MDRT or whoever is a performer, it's their chance to show their skills of proving that there's no basis for this or explaining this. Because the reason it becomes a negative rumor is that people don't understand why it's happening. So it's our job as a leader to make them understand that it's happening. So dagdag pogi points yon if magaling kang ma-defend mo yung mga situations na yon. So other than that, if nonsense talaga and negative pa, then I just tell the advisor to remove yung pinost niya. Ganun lang. Yes. But it's not related to business. Not related to business. And so far, since naset siguro yung expectation, and culture sa team ko. Sa mga Viber groups and chat groups, wala namang nagpo-post sa amin ng mga unrelated to the business, like
Right. Ah,
networking or whatever. Walang mga nagpo-post ng ganon. Kung may news na not good, then we
Mhm.
just
yeah,
have to address it. Like, we just have to address it correctly, and then all good na yan. Yeah.
yeah. Very good. Meron kayong ground rules, tapos kung meron nakulusot, immediate response agad para you stop whatever is not good populating the rest. No?
Yes.
Good.
We have to, parang problems lang yan, no? We have to face our problems to heads
Mm.
on, hindi yung
Mm.
pinapatagal. For this, we have to just explain to them why this is happening. Kasi mas knowledgeable naman tayo compared
Yeah.
to, especially our rookies, no? Who can easily be parang
Okay.
disappointed. So we just have to explain it to them, so they would know how to,
Handle it. Thank you, Jay.
Okay. Brian, digital selling is very much accepted now, no? Especially at the start talaga, no, of the pandemic. What is your customers' response to digital selling?
During the pandemic, no, we had no choice but to do digital selling, the recruitment, merong mga temporary coding. So, okay naman siya, because dati, prior pandemic, if I have a client in Manila, I have to go to Manila, to Davao, just to close that account. But now, everything can be done in social media through Zoom or emails or even Viber calls or
Mhm.
Facebook calls. It can be done. We have reached out to more clients. Okay naman siya. As long as ganun pa rin, if the right sales cycle, profiling, parang giving the best solution to the client, as long as the client appreciates what they are getting, then I am sure that it's okay. Pero syempre, there are, meron ding iba na, when it
Hesitant.
comes, hesitant. It's easier for them to say later na ganyan, kasi instant lang din eh. But so far, advantage naman siya for all our teams na mas dumami yung reach natin to clients.
So talagang naging convenient, no? Both for the advisors and for our customers. But Brian, do you see any persistency
Yes.
related problems from digital selling?
Yeah. Yeah. Oo,
Sa bang
meron.
persistency during the last 2 years?
Yeah. Actually, Miss J, yung nagkaka-problem tayo mostly is the accounts of those advisors who are no longer with us. Yung mga saglit lang sila pumasok sa atin. So if ever there were problems with persistency, mostly yung mga wala na yung advisors nila dito kasi temporary coded sila, or ano pa ba? Siguro there were problems with parang mga auto-debit account, and meron din talagang iba na hindi na nagpatuloy. But for me naman, it's not because of digitalization, no? Because even prior to pandemic, ganun naman talaga eh. For me, persistency is based on the advisor na nagmamanage ng accounts. You know, how they sold the product, how the clients value their product. So that's for me the measurement of a good persistency. Pero pag ang advisor naman, parang hindi masyado marunong, yung clients parang kumuha lang for the sake na mag-okay, and then tapos minimum pa, tapos monthly pa. So nagkakaproblema tayo doon. But if your advisors are okay, are good, kahit face-to-face or virtual yan, they're good kasi they will explain the products properly. Ayaw nilang mabalikan sila ng client. At the same time, they will really contact the client when the premium dues are there. And if there are changes sa policy, they will also help them. So it depends on the leadership and then the advisor. And for leaders, hindi natin control din ang persistency kasi depende yun sa advisor. All we can do is work it out again by recruiting new people to join the team. But for me, I'm sorry, but it's not digitalization
Okay.
or social media that is the cause na bumababa ang persistency ng mga tao. Siguro it's because of the parang medyo may mga advisors tayo pinapapasok, tapos biglang nawawala na, tapos na-affect siya sa team persistency. Ganon.
So I think the message is very clear. Social media, digital technology, no, is not the thing to blame. Okay, kapag nagkaroon ng problema sa persistency, it all boils down, no, to the quality, no, of prospecting, no, yung qualifying pa rin, no, ng ating mga kliyente. And again, that is the role of the leader and at the same time of the advisor.
Agree.
Yeah. So Brian, for my last question, ayan na, ang bilis, no?
Agree.
Last question na ako. Under now the hybrid face-to-face and work from home, no, which is now very common, when is social media most helpful?
Yeah. Now, ngayon, I still, for me, touch points like reaching out to a customer, or an advisor or a leader, social media still plays a very important role. I cannot imagine asking for an appointment by, di na kagaya dati na pwede kang pumunta sa office ng basta-basta lang. Ngayon, you really have to do it through social media. But right now, when I still believe, now parang nag-work na ngayon yung once you get to know someone in social media, then you have to meet that person and see if and talk and build that relationship again. Because if relationship is something na hindi masyadong na build sa social media, kasi everything is done in an instant. But now it's the time for us leaders to reconnect to our customers, to our prospect advisors, to our clients. So social media first, and then reconnect to them by meeting them. And if you are able to do that simultaneously and work effectively together, then it will work. So for now, sa Tan Dynasty and even to our group, the role of social media is for our meetings, especially ng mga people who are not in Cebu or we are in different areas. So every Monday we have meetings for all, and then we do it through Zoom lang, and then from time to time I also have leaders meeting na face to face. So work hand in hand and find that balance lang.
So talagang social media is the best enabler nowadays. Okay, thank you.
Yes, totoo yan, Miss J.
Brian, I think very clear that social media and technology can actually enhance, the relationship. Brian, okay. Social media, as you've mentioned, can enhance a relationship, especially kung malayo, let's say Manila to Cebu. So talagang enhances, Meron bang pagkakataon na kung malapit naman na nasa-substitute ba ng social media yung face-to-face? Is there a danger that it can actually make the relationship less strong?
Yeah, agree. Yes, I understand, but it depends then, Sir Ivy. It depends if one compromises on the other. Say for example, one is really busy and cannot meet you, then it's okay. So as leaders, we're very nag-adjust naman tayo, and that's something the pandemic has really taught us na kung if you can't really go out, like even if we're just in Cebu or in Manila, it takes hours then to go to a certain place. So if ever it's unplanned, then Zoom is the best way still to do it. But syempre, once in a while as leaders, we have to make sure that there's a bond between your team. So it's still best that you go face to face. Pero social media supplements those time na hindi talaga kayo pwedeng magkita.
Thank you. So obviously, it's really finding the right balance and being sensitive to the occasion. Brian, maraming salamat for your generous sharing. And sabi mo nga, we expect continuous advancement in technology. So the role of the leader really is to find ways to adapt and make sure the technology will enable them to lead their teams to greater heights. So we wish you all the best, and maraming salamat.
Yes, sir.
Maraming salamat ulit, Brian. I'll see you again in LinkedIn. So doon tayo nagkikita sa LinkedIn. Please also extend our thanks to our common friend, Mr. Don Pasco, for assisting us in connecting with you. And of course, please give our best regards to your manager, your leader, your mentor, Emperor John Tan. No? And thanks everyone for joining us again tonight with our real story of Mr. Brian Baclayon. We do invite you again to join us next week as we feature the inspiring story, journey of another successful young leader, Sun Life Philippines sales manager, Rafael Paeng Conquilla, who will share on how he continues to keep his team members active and productive in the new normal.
So dear friends, we hope to see you again next Thursday, 8 o'clock here in Leaders in Action.
Real leaders.
Real stories.
And real talk.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Brian. Thank you again for joining us.